Hello and welcome to Conversations with Chrissy.
Hi Whitney, how are you?
I'm great. It's a new month. We have a new name.
That's right. Very good.
As always, I'm your host Whitney and I'm here with MDOT MBA Administrator Chrissy Nizer.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
Now Chrissy, this is a really special occasion because this is the first time in well over a year that we have been able to sit down together without the mask.
That's right, and it's a great sign of what we all are seeing, that things are starting to get back to normal, which is very exciting. I think we're all glad. It's been a very difficult year and a half. I know for everybody personally, professionally, in every aspect, it's been tough.
Absolutely. Now, as far as, our policies when it comes to masks, I know there have been some updates. What do folks need to know about that?
So the important thing for everybody to know is that according to Governor Hogan's order, their masks are no longer mandatory in our branch offices and our facilities. We still highly encourage you, obviously you're not vaccinated, consistent with CDC recommendations, still wear that mask. But for everybody else, if you're vaccinated, no mask is required at this point. Also, we want customers to feel comfortable. So even if you're vaccinated and you feel more comfortable wearing that mask, go right ahead. That's certainly what we want you to feel comfortable. We know that this is a transition period. Like I said, we've been doing this for a while now, kind of gotten used to it. So whatever you feel comfortable with. I will say the big question is always, are you sticking with appointments only? Yes, for the time period we are appointments only, and so that means make sure you check and see our availability, plan in advance obviously, and make that appointment online or by calling our call center. We do think that provides for a great experience for the customer and allows us to serve you in a great way. It's all about your safety as well as the safety of our employees. That continues to be our #1 priority, as it has been throughout this whole pandemic.
Sure. Now we know there's a lot of folks out there watching who probably have products that expired during the pandemic, right? And so we know we just recently announced some new deadlines for those products, and one of those deadlines is coming up this month.
That's right. So we certainly want to make sure customers are aware. During the period of the pandemic, the governor obviously had that executive order to take off the pressure. We didn't want people to think they needed to come in and rush to do that during the time the health and safety was really most important. So the first deadline that's coming off, as you alluded to, is our vehicle registration deadline. So at the end of June, anybody who had a vehicle registration that expired during the pandemic period, you need to get current with that. The great news is you can do that online. Vehicle registration renewals can be completed that way quickly and easily, so we encourage you really to do that. And then the next deadline coming up will be middle of August 15th, and that's for our driver's license, ID cards. That includes our commercial driver's licenses as well. So again, it's all about trying to provide flexibility, giving that advance notice, letting you know early on when those deadlines are expiring. We've reached out to the impacted customers to let them know and give them ample time to make that appointment. And so just want to encourage everybody to remember, these are things that you're probably in the habit of doing before the pandemic, and we've kind of gotten away from it during this time. So trying to make sure customers are aware of these new deadlines.
Sure. Now, there are probably folks with questions about, how to complete that process. You already touched on online services, that being a big piece. But, just as far as folks who still need to get that done, what advice would you give them?
So definitely go online first. We've got a lot of great tools there, so you can go directly to our e-store and see the types of transactions that are available, or we've got a new tool called First Stop, and I really love that because it's personalized service to each individual. All you have to do is enter your driver's license information or your vehicle information, and it'll tell you exactly what you can do. So it'll bring up those exact services with a link to them. We really want to make it as easy as possible. We know there's a lot of information out there, a lot of transactions you can do online, so we want to really make that as simple as possible. So I encourage you to still do it remotely if you don't need to. We know your time is valuable and want you to be able to do it at home or at your convenience. If you need to come in, then you can go directly from that tool to our scheduling system. Again, you can choose the branch that's most convenient, the time, as well as we'll ask you what service that you're going to complete when you're with us. So we have expanded appointment capacity. Obviously, during the emergency, we had significantly reduced that in accordance to the state and the local orders that were in place. With those being eliminated, we're able to significantly increase our capacity, getting back to our normal volumes that we're used to seeing in our branch offices. And so I encourage you to go to our website at mba.maryland.gov and check out the options that are available to you.
Multiple options available. Really can't beat that. All right, now switching gears to another really timely topic as we head into the summer. So just before Memorial Day weekend, we hosted a press conference in Annapolis to really drive home the point about staying safe during summer travel. And so we had a great turnout. We had representatives from MDOT, MDTA, as well as Maryland State Police and the Department of Natural Resources. But we also were joined by MDOT Secretary Greg Slater, who shared some remarks as well. Let's take a look at those.
We're asking all Marylanders to keep summer alive by following these simple guidelines. Be the sober driver. If you're out there and plan on drinking, make a plan. Use a designated driver, use a friend, a ride share, public transportation. If available, use your community's sober ride program. Be that focused driver by eliminating all distractions as you're traveling. Be that slow down driver. Speed limits are set for your safety. Follow them. Be that buckled up driver. Each year, more than 100 fatalities are due to a failure to drive a seatbelt or to wear a seatbelt. It takes 3 seconds to buckle a seatbelt and it will save your life. Be that share the road driver. Pedestrians and bicyclists on these warm days are out there. They're the most vulnerable road users that we have. Very little protection from a collision, and it just takes a second and someone's life will change. And finally, be that look twice driver. As these warmer weather starts to come around and as the summer months come, you're going to see more and more motorcyclists out on the road. They can sometimes be harder to see. Take that extra second, take that second look. Their life can depend on it.
Well, yeah, I want to thank Secretary Slater for his great remarks, as well as all of our partners who are out there, certainly our critical partners from a law enforcement perspective, as well as the Department of Natural Resources, really talking about that connection with our state parks and the waterways. We know that with summertime, everybody is excited about the warmer weather. Obviously, with everything we went through the last year, kind of getting back to normal, enjoying those outdoor activities, and we certainly want that to happen. We just want people to be safe at the end of the day.
Always, yeah.
So critical. You know, we had a rough year on the roadways last year, even though we saw many fewer cars on the roadways. Unfortunately, the number of fatalities did not decrease in the same way. In fact, it increased significantly. And so speed in particular was a significant issue in 2020. I guess with fewer people on the road, folks thought that they could drive at that higher speed, but we all know that if you're involved in a crash at the higher speed, you're much more likely to be killed or seriously injured. And so we want everybody to slow down. You'll arrive at your destination in good time, but we want you to arrive safely. The other piece is really drinking and driving clearly don't mix, and so I want you to make a plan ahead of time, you know, whether that's a sober rider, whether it's a transit, or whether a shared ride service. So many great options today. But please just don't drive while you're impaired. Right. Buckling up is always an easy message. You know, it's something that we're told from a young age, and it's so critical. Really only takes a few seconds, and it's your best defense in a crash. We know that those who are involved in a crash are significantly more likely to be expelled from the vehicle, to be seriously injured, or unfortunately killed without that seatbelt. Unfortunately, another disturbing trend we found in 2020 is that less than 90% of the people in Maryland were unbuckled. That unfortunately is a trend that's going in the wrong direction. And so if you think about that, 1 in every 10 drivers on the roadway not being buckled, it's really a scary statistic. So please take those few seconds and just buckle up, regardless of where you are in the car, not just the driver, but also those passengers. I know sometimes that back seat, people think they're somehow safer back there, but actually it's a backseat driver or a backseat passenger. If there is a crash and you stop suddenly, you can actually become a projectile if you're not buckled and injure someone else who's in the front seat. So just everybody buckle up every time, regardless how short the trip is. It's really the most important thing that you can do. We know that the summer is the deadliest time of year. We tend to see that on the roads, and so we're asking everybody to pay extra attention at this time. We want everybody to have a safe and enjoyable summer and make it out safely.
Now, another big factor in summer travel is also an increase in the number of motorcycles and bikes out on the road as well.
That's right, and that share the road message is so critical. Obviously, our motorcycle riders and our pedestrians, our bicyclists are much more vulnerable. They don't have that vehicle surrounding them and that extra protection that you're afforded in a vehicle. And so just asking everybody to look out for each other. May was actually Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and so Governor Hogan issued a proclamation about that. Just want to bring everybody's attention because unfortunately we lose about 70 motorcycle riders a year. We've seen several significant motorcycle crashes recently. You know, folks do want to get out and ride and enjoy the beautiful weather. So we just need folks to look out for each other, and hopefully that way we'll take that trend and move it in the opposite direction and save more lives on our roadways.
Absolutely. Now, you know, as we mentioned, May was Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and we put together a video to help raise awareness about motorcycle safety. And thankfully, we had the help of two really fun guys. One was Ernie Lair, our motorcycle safety program manager from the Maryland Highway Safety Office, and also former MSP motorcycle officer Rick Sullivan. Let's take a quick look at that video.
Now that we know the bikes are safe, did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
Cool, let's go ride.
Whoa, wait a minute, Ernie. But there's another acronym, and it's up to you to explain it.
You're right, man, I forgot. It's ATGAT, all the gear, all the time. You gotta dress a certain way if you're gonna ride a motorcycle, and we'll tell you a little bit about that. So if you're gonna ride a motorcycle, ATGAT is really important. All the gear, all the time. You have to dress a certain way to safely ride a motorcycle.
So great video, and really want to thank them for helping us to get the message out. So, you know, few key tips for drivers. You know, motorcycles should have the full lane. We don't want to cut them off, obviously, or make any quick maneuvers because it can be very dangerous. Look twice is the motto that we tend to use. You want to make sure in your blind spot, obviously, not as big from a motorcycle standpoint, and so you want to make sure that you look twice, especially when turning and at intersections. That's an especially dangerous area for motorcycles. Make sure you signal your intentions. Obviously that's a good thing to do anyway, but especially for motorcycles it's really key. You know, when we talk about the blind spot, it's just really important that you know, you make sure that you're aware of the other vehicles and individuals on the road, and whether that's a bicycle or a motorcycle or even that pedestrian. So again, it's about looking out for each other, you know, all of the roadway users, and that's really how we're going to bring those numbers of fatalities down.
It's a critical issue that requires all of our collaboration. So
Definitely.
Very good point. Now there's one other kind of alarming trend that we've been seeing that we want to bring to folks' attention as well. And that relates to making sure that little ones are strapped in properly when they are traveling in the car.
Yes, unfortunately we've seen several crashes this year where the car seats were not properly secured, and again, as we talk about vulnerable individuals on our road, certainly the littlest one we want to protect in so many ways, and especially when they're in that car. So we're just asking everybody who's transporting a young child to please make sure that they are properly secured, make sure that they have the proper seat for their age, for their weight, for their height. There's good resources out there. So Maryland has kids and safety seats. They have a free virtual check. Obviously, that's a new thing that came out of the pandemic. Lots of good resources at mdkiss.org. So encourage you to go on there. It'll walk you through the installation process. But obviously, our littlest ones we want to keep safe, and so please make sure that that car safety seat is properly installed, even if it's the right seat for their age and weight. If it's not installed properly, and unfortunately if you are involved in a crash, it could become loose, and we certainly don't want to see that happen going forward.
Gotcha. So mdkiss.org. That's the link that folks need to remember. And if you want to take a look, there's some other useful links up here as well to help you take care of your MDOT MVA business. We'd like to thank MDOT MVA Administrator Chrissy Nizer for her time today. And as always, we appreciate you for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.